Welcome to the world of Street Fighter! Are you a fighter looking for your next challenge? Or just passing through on your journey? Either way, we're more than happy to have you!
And the ransomware attack exposed some of the internal documents that were pushed into Capcom Japan from Capcom USA. And they contain things like this. So this is the kind of stuff that Capcom USA is now pushing into Capcom Japan. They say that Nintendo's Princess Peach and Zelda are negative stereotypes of women due to being damsels in distress. So with this kind of mentality, you wouldn't have had two of the best video game franchises ever made. And that way of thinking is now part of Capcom Japan, and that's why this game looks the way it does. LGBTQs are treated equally with other characters. Yes, they insert as many LGBTQ characters as possible into these games because that means you can't criticize it, right? It's basically a Trojan horse for leftist political propaganda. But because the people who promote that is going to be LGBTQ and minorities, if you question it, you're going to be called a bad person. So you have to let them take over your video game with their propaganda. It says, all genders will be treated equally. A male character with a female haircut is okay. A female character with a beard is okay. A female character with a beard is okay. And guess what? In leaked slides from Capcom's ransomware attack, there's BLM in it. There's BLM in it. Now, BLM are communists. Patrice Cullors, one half of the duo that created BLM, is on record, on video, praising Mao's Little Red Book, and she said that she's a trained Marxist. That means she is a straight up communist. Black Lives Matter is in the Capcom's slides. Look here in Japanese. They talk about Black Lives Matter. And Japan doesn't give a shit about any of this stuff. I live out here. Japan is a nationalist country, and I love the way Japan is nationalist and not woke. They're going to say, oh, you know, you're getting angry because there's a black person in it. Mate, I've been loving black characters since the first Street Fighter. I love Balrog, but that looks like it was made by woke Black Lives Matter group. I put a picture of Black Lives Matter founder Patrice Cullors on the right next to the face of this character. Can you even see the similarity when Black Lives Matter is in Capcom's own slides that they share around their employees? But guess what? Don't believe me. It turns out that this character right here was made by Black Lives Matter focus group. Check out this article, right? The game, it says, Street Fighter 6 developers created new fighter Kimberly with the help of black consultants. Authenticity is important to Capcom and to Street Fighter 6's newest character. What does that even mean? So why do you need a black consultant to make a black character? What about a white consultant? Did they hire a white consultant to make Guile from the... Why do you need a black consultant? The Japanese developer only needs to just look at what a black person looks like to code them into the game. Why do you need a black consultant? Because this whole industry is a grievance industry. There's such a short supply of racism. They're desperate to find it everywhere because they get money from it. If racism goes away, then there's going to be no jobs for these black consultants.
You my new recruit? Yeah, gotta say, you're photogenic. Again.
Ruben, of course, was very classy about stepping down from the role. I'm sad to no longer be the voice of Ken because he is a character dear to my heart, Langdon said. There are many lessons here in this situation. I tried my best to be empathetic to people on all sides, but I must be myself no matter what and continue my own journey. Nothing wrong with that statement. It was a classy statement. He also added, hopefully the next actor will take the character to the next level and audience will continue to love the legend that has become Ken Masters' Shoryuken. Of course, people on Twitter are very happy. Ruben Langdon no longer voices Ken. Please let Dante be next. This man is lost. Let's take a look at these tweets that they seem to come after him. The so-called leaders of the world try to bend to the agreed-upon laws upon the land. They expose their true agenda. Don't be a pawn in the control game. Know your rights and own your sovereignty. Nothing wrong with that statement. The fork in the road is coming closer. What path will you take? Hashtag Bitcoin. Wait a minute. So this is mad at him for talking about Bitcoin? Now, I'm neither here nor there on the Bitcoin thing, but what does that have to do with anything? These are not new studies. They were coming out almost a year ago. Nice to see people finally talking about it publicly, though. That's a quote treat to Pfizer jab cannot alter DNA, says the COVID cult. New study from Sweden says it does. Information should not be cancelable. I think that everybody with their opinions should be allowed to express those opinions, but the fact that somebody is getting fired from a voice acting position for having opinions that don't match the mainstream, I think it is very sad. It's actually sad. Show me proof where Trump, obviously he meant Trump, said storm the Capitol and I will apologize. Now, Trump does know how to stir the pot and get people riled up. He is a con man. So he's not really being complimentary to Donald Trump here. He's saying that Trump actually is a bit of a con man. But he's also saying that he never said storm the Capitol. It's a small group that did the damage. So he's also not saying that the people who stormed the Capitol were innocent. He's admitting, okay, they were for what they did. Because I don't think this dude is very MAGA from what I see. I think that he's being very objective. I don't think he's not wearing a Make America Great Again hat. He's not really, showing any sort of conservative take here. He's being critical of both sides. He's just using his brain, which apparently is offensive to these people that don't have one, that are all over the internet. And it's disappointing that this is where we're at as a society, to be honest. This dude, I don't think he did anything wrong. I think that he's stating his opinion on his Twitter account. And if you don't like his opinion, there is a block button. But of course, that's not how it works now in this world of diversity, equity, and inclusion. Let's see what he said about Gina Carano. So he's got a Variety article about Gina Carano getting fired from The Mandalorian. I am offended. The nerve of this woman thinking she can use free speech and make comparisons from times in history where speech was suppressed and compare them to today. Based Ruben Landon. You know what? I don't even use Twitter except to read Twitter accounts. I'm following this dude.